There we go, finished. I call this one Emo Cry. To me it represents the darkness and despair inside each and every one of us. It's all very dark and depressing. Let's brighten things up. So I'm just going to start laying everything out, sketching it out with the China marker. I'm not going to sort of measure it, all the proportions and things too closely on this. I'm sort of doing it by eye, just trying to get the sort of gesture marks in for like the flowing tentacles, and I think that's more important with something like an octopus rather than sort of, whereas if you're doing like a portrait or something, I think you need to get all the proportions really spot on, but something like this, it's more important for it to be flowy and have that sense of movement, and so that's what I'm trying to sort of do here. I'm trying not to go too over the top, getting every little detail in, but just want to sort of plot everything out really, and might need to improvise a little bit because the sort of aspect of my canvas panel is a bit different to the photo reference, but just sort of giving the impression of corals around it and rocks, and trying to get the main things in there. Maybe a couple of the fish behind, and I think it sort of fits quite well really. I like the sort of positioning of it, and I think it's going to be sort of quite sort of dynamic, where it looks like it's got a bit of depth to it and coming forwards towards you. And when I come to put colours on and stuff, I think I'll try to leave it a bit more sort of, I'll try to put the focus on the octopus bit and leave it a bit more less detailed around the outside, and so it sort of focuses you. That's the plan anyway. And I'll start adding in all the dark kind of background colours, because in oil painting you kind of work from dark to light. So I'm going to lay down all the darks, but they sort of sit in the shadows, and so the bits that recede. And then you sort of gradually build on top of that and build up the refinement, and you kind of build up like the finer details and things in future layers. I'll have to let this dry and then build on top of it, but that's the bit I always struggle with really, is the finer details. But we'll see how it goes on this one. I'll try and be a bit more careful with it and see if I can do it well. And I think one thing I probably didn't do as much as I should have is we're meant to kind of be balancing the colours, like an optical mixing them it's called, where you kind of have two opposing colours next to each other, but then when people look at it from a distance, the kind of eye sees the colour in between. So I might have to, when I redo this, consider that a bit more, look into it a bit more. I think it's called pointillism, and it's kind of it's quite clever and interesting the way it works really. You just have two different colours, and then but when you look at it from a distance, you see a different colour that's not even on the canvas. So I need to really go away and think about that if I want to try doing this sort of style again. And like say where I'm doing the water there, sort of maybe have more like green and yellow or something, and then you get more like a green, I assume like a greeny turquoisey colour. I might as well get it from green and yellow or blue and yellow, something like that. But that's the kind of trick, and I think I need to look into that a bit more, because I really enjoyed working this way, and I think I'll do it again. But I think next time I'll do it a bit more considered and think about how I'm going to do it and the colours I'm going to use and stuff. I was pretty pleased with what I did as a first attempt on this one. I like the way it's heading, and I think it's just a case of really thinking about the colours, and I think I could improve it a lot by thinking about that a bit more. So here where I'm adding in the like yellows and oranges for the corals surrounding the octopus, and a little bit of on the octopus itself. It's got a lot of yellows and oranges and things. I was trying to leave like more of a red base, because I think that's sort of what the shadowy colour is really. Like the darkest colour in there I could see like a reddy browny colour, and then it's got the oranges and stuff on top, and then these little blue dots and stuff, which is like the final. I think I'll put those on as like the final layer once it's all dried and stuff. But I think the yellows look a little bit too bright probably. I think I probably could have muted them down a bit, maybe added like a little bit of black into them or something, just so they're a bit darker as it's like a background layer. Those look a bit more like highlights really, but I think when I go on top of them, I think it will still look good when I go on top of them with the warm, because these are all cool colours. When I go back on top with like warms and stuff, I think they'll probably still pop. But I think, yeah, next time I'll bear that in mind. I think I'll try and keep it all a bit more darkened down for this first layer, because yeah, you sort of do want to sort of make it look all finished and stuff right at the beginning, but you've got to remember there's a process to it, and to keep building and be patient, and eventually you kind of get there. So like I mentioned before, this is just it's the first layer. I'll wait for this all to dry now and come back with the next layer. This is like, I've used a fairly big brush on this one, not big but a bigger brush on this, and then I'll just use a smaller brush, get more detail in and smaller marks and stuff, and sort of build sort of, yeah, rough to refined kind of thing. So I really like how this one's heading. I'm looking forward to doing the next stage. I hope you'll join me where I put the next layer onto it and see how it develops from here. Alright guys, catch you later.